Do you think, Kathy, the incentives are well aligned?
Yes, we do. I do not believe any company anywhere near this size has ever delivered a compound annual rate of growth for EBITDA, which is a bottom line number, of 41% over 10 years. No company has done that. So, yes, indeed, the incentives are aligned.
Deconstructing Elon Musk's Tesla pay package. And today, we are diving into a story that has dominated headlines and sparked a fierce debate across the globe. It's a story about a figure who is part visionary, part provocateur, and now potentially the world's first trillionaire. We are, of course, talking about Elon Musk and the staggering, almost unbelievable compensation package that Tesla shareholders have just approved. The numbers alone are enough to make your head spin. A pay package valued at up to $1 trillion. Yes, you heard that right. $1 trillion. This isn't just a news story, it's a corporate governance earthquake. It raises fundamental questions about executive compensation, the cult of personality in business, and what exactly a CEO is worth. We're going to break down the details of this deal, explore the arguments for and against, and discuss what this means for Tesla, its shareholders, and the future of corporate America. The anatomy of a $1 trillion deal. Let's start with the facts. On Thursday, Tesla shareholders voted overwhelmingly, with about 75% approval, to ratify a compensation plan for Elon Musk. This wasn't a new proposal. It was a re-vote on a 2018 package that had been voided by a Delaware judge earlier this year. The judge ruled that the board was too beholden to Musk and that the process was flawed. The re-vote was Tesla's attempt to fix that procedural issue. Now, to be clear, Musk isn't getting a $1 trillion check in the mail tomorrow. This is a performance-based stock option grant. The value is contingent on Tesla hitting a series of incredibly ambitious operational and market capitalization milestones over the next decade, specifically through 2035. The package is divided into 12 tranches of stock options. To unlock all 12 tranches, Tesla must achieve a market capitalization of $650 billion and hit a series of escalating revenue and adjusted EBITDA targets. The initial value of the package, when it was first approved in 2018, was around $56 billion. But because Tesla's stock has soared and the number of shares has increased due to stock splits, the current potential value is now estimated to be closer to $1 trillion. It's important to remember that Musk takes no salary or cash bonus from Tesla. His entire compensation is tied to the company's performance. This is the core argument of the Tesla board, that this structure perfectly aligns Musk's personal wealth with the interests of the shareholders. If he doesn't deliver, he gets nothing. If he delivers, he gets a historic payout. But the sheer scale of the potential payout is what makes this a landmark case. It's a compensation package that is larger than the GDP of many small nations. It's a figure that forces us to pause and ask, is any single person worth this much? The debate around this package is fascinating because both sides have compelling, if radically different, arguments. Let's look at the case for approval, the argument that ultimately won the day with the majority of shareholders. The primary argument is that Elon Musk is not just a CEO. He's the key person risk at Tesla. The board and his supporters argue that his vision, his drive, and his unique ability to inspire both employees and the market are irreplaceable. They believe that without this massive incentive, Musk might simply walk away or dedicate his time to his other ventures, like SpaceX or X, formerly Twitter. The board explicitly stated that they could not afford to lose him. This package, therefore, is seen as a necessary golden handcuff, a way to ensure his focus remains on Tesla for the next decade. Furthermore, proponents point to the incredible growth since the 2018 package was first proposed. At that time, Tesla was valued at around $50 billion. Today, it's one of the most valuable companies in the world. The milestones set in 2018 seemed impossible then, but Musk achieved them. The argument is simple. He delivered unprecedented value, and he deserves the unprecedented reward that was promised. However, the case against is equally powerful and centers on two main pillars: corporate governance and the principle of fair compensation. Critics, including major institutional investors and proxy advisory firms, argue that the board is not acting independently. They contend that the board, which includes Musk's brother and other close associates, is too cozy with the CEO and failed to negotiate a fair deal for the company. The Delaware judge's initial ruling certainly gave weight to this concern. The second major point is dilution. This package, if fully vested, will give Musk an even larger stake in the company, potentially diluting the value of existing shareholders' stock. Critics argue that the milestones, while large, are not as difficult to achieve now as they were in 2018, given the company's current size and trajectory. But perhaps the most resonant argument against the package is the issue of Musk's recent behavior. His erratic conduct, his controversial use of the X platform, and the time he dedicates to his other companies all raise questions about his commitment and fitness to lead a public company of Tesla's magnitude. Critics ask, should a CEO whose actions often seem to destabilize the company be rewarded with a trillion-dollar incentive? As a woman in business and finance, I find this story particularly compelling because it highlights the deeply ingrained double standards and the sheer scale of power concentrated in the hands of a few, mostly male figures. Think about the narrative here. The board's central argument is fear. Fear that the male genius will leave. This is a classic, almost mythological framing of the indispensable male founder. When was the last time a board argued that a female CEO was so essential, so irreplaceable, that they had to be offered a compensation package larger than the GDP of Portugal? The truth is, the conversation around executive compensation for women is fundamentally different. Female CEOs are often scrutinized more intensely for their pay, their performance, and their public persona. They are rarely afforded the same latitude for erratic behavior that Musk is. The tolerance for risk, for controversy, and for sheer unbridled ambition seems to be exponentially higher when the person in question is a charismatic, powerful man. This package sets a dangerous precedent. It normalizes the idea that a CEO's value can be measured in the hundreds of billions, even trillions, and that the only way to retain top talent is through these astronomical, almost feudal rewards. It widens the already vast chasm between the highest-paid executives and the average worker, not just at Tesla, but across the entire corporate landscape. Furthermore, the focus on Musk as the sole driver of value completely sidelines the thousands of engineers, designers, and factory workers, many of whom are women, who are actually building the cars and developing the technology. This package reinforces a top-down, individualistic view of success rather than a collaborative, team-based one. It's a stark reminder that while women are making strides in the C-suite, the ultimate unconstrained power and the most extravagant rewards still flow disproportionately to a very small, very specific demographic. So, what does this shareholder approval actually mean for the road ahead? First, the legal battle is not over. The Delaware judge who voided the original package still has to rule on the validity of this revote. While the shareholder approval is a massive win for Musk and Tesla, it doesn't automatically overturn the judge's original concerns about the process and the board's independence. The legal drama will continue to unfold. Second, for Tesla, this vote is a massive vote of confidence in Musk's leadership and his vision for the company's future. It gives him the mandate he sought to continue his aggressive, often controversial strategy. Third, for the market, it reinforces the idea that in the age of the celebrity CEO, the cult of personality can trump traditional corporate governance concerns. It tells other boards that if the growth is big enough, the reward can be limitless. Ultimately, this story is a microcosm of the modern economy. It's a story about unprecedented wealth creation, the power of innovation, and the uncomfortable questions we must ask about who gets to benefit from that success and by how much. That's all the time we have for today's board. Thank you for joining me. We'll be watching the legal developments closely, and we'll bring you an update as soon as the judge weighs in. Until next time, keep questioning the numbers.
Yeah.